I just...
Typical.
Yeah, I just did that. I don't know.
Webcam settings, do it all over again. Mine does that every time I start streaming. I have to redo my settings. I just know exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know.
Yeah. Over time, you know exactly where you're
It's
going.
like my autofocus is here, my this is there, my that's there, and I just fire it out.
All right, that's not bad. That's pretty good. That's not too great.
Yeah, looks good.
I don't think anybody's really done more with this game with less than I have, because I've never actually bought a working donkey machine. I've always, the two I had, the cocktail and the upright, I pulled out of the trash or vendors.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
And they weren't working when I got it.
I got the notification.
Yeah, he's live.
Yeah.
Right, it should be.
Yeah, I'm following you on Twitch, so it lets me know when you're streaming.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just in time.
Level 4, 87.
It's not very good, but I can work with it.
No, you're getting the feel of the setup too. It's
Yeah.
like, it would probably feel odd to me to play in a cabinet right now, because I've been using that for this few years.
Tim, do you go for that third prize over there?
All the way up to level 4, no.
Right.
I've seen where Dean does.
Yeah, we
and
do.
Yeah, Wes and I do too.
I'm not really sure if it's really worth it.
It is if you do this. You got to leech as you go, and then you wait over here for a short like that one, and then back jump. So you're gaining points as you traverse.
Yeah, all the way up to about level 3. At level 4, and then first 2 prizes, depending. I might not even get those, depending on how tricky the fireball wants to be.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why there's no picture.
It's working.
It's
I think
it's
just
live.
your computer, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's too much for your computer to crunch right now trying to load it, but I just checked on my phone and we have video on.
Yeah, I
And it
got
looks
it on
good?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right,
no,
good.
it looks perfect.
Marky's super excited. OMG, he says Marky D. That's Wes playing, so you guys know.
I don't think anybody's done more with this game with less than I have. I honestly have to say.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Yeah, no, we believe
A
in
real
that.
screw job.
Yeah, no, he froze. You're all right. Okay, yeah, maybe you did get a screw job.
Yeah, I'm good.
So the video is coming out pretty good.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good here.
There we go. Huh. Yeah, it's probably too much for my computer to handle right now.
Yeah, well, you're encoding it, and you know what I mean. You're live streaming the video and you encode it.
Yes, sometimes when I stream, my Twitch channel will go out, but like people will still say I'm live, so.
Oh, too
Yeah.
far. It's tough with a new joystick. So you always play with a dust guard, huh?
That was on the control panel when I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mine
like
came with one, and I got my first kill screen with it, and then it got all cracked up, like right in here for me banging it back and forth. So I bought a new one, and when I bought the new one, it was too tight, and I couldn't actually move the joystick all the way. So I took it, I thread wasted it, and it still was fucked. So I just took it off, and I haven't used one since.
Hard to find those dust guards.
Yeah, they are.
Even in the arcade, you could break it off.
And like I bought some from John's Arcade, and I think they were remakes. Cause like I said, it was too narrow, and like it fit, but it was like I couldn't go left or right with the joystick without it cracking. So then I ended up just taking it out and filing the inside out.
There is an inner dust guard that's missing on that would go underneath the control
That's that
panel
black
overlay.
one,
It's a
right?
smaller black one.
Okay.
That was always missing out of that one. Because when I got it, it was half missing anyway, so I just took it out.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
this is great. It's nice down here too. Like if you got a 100-degree day upstairs, you can just come down here and like you're adding the heat, you're in the coolness of the basement.
It's better when I don't leave the window open for the cats, though.
That's their in and out, right?
That's like their door.
That way they don't have to play around being chased by the dad. particularly a couple of the cats the dog really doesn't like.
No wonder he's barking all the time. Or she's
The
barking.
dog barks at everything. It just blood pressure through the. I'll go upstairs or I'll go take a leak or something in the middle of the night.
It's like, fuck, dog, give me a break.
Yeah.
This better be 4-1.
No.
I'm just kidding. 4-3. 4-3 is more like a realistic.
Tim, whenever I'm grouping up here, I like to jump like this, so it's like I don't have to move that much, and I can't miss it because I'm in the air and I'm holding that way.
Like, he'll be off the ground,
Yeah.
so that he can steer while he's in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll jump before it's going to cross the broken ladder so that he can force it but not move.
Yeah, I don't want to move around a lot.
And Wes, I was watching you do that a lot when you got your first game where you cashed in 3 men.
Yeah.
And even on the 4th girder, he'll do it. Like, while he's making transitions, he's doing lots of straight jumps to steer down those ladders. And that's so that if he throws a wild, he's not going to run into it. But he still can steer anytime he wants without... Yeah.
All right, now that's a good tip to know.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
Because you don't really get hit by the wild barrels if you're in the safe spots on the well, depending on the timer.
Right.
But on the first one, there really isn't a safe spot. You can get hit by a wild barrel even in a safe spot, but if you jump,
and they're like
I
truly
have.
random.
I have.
Oh yeah. The early levels, they truly are random. Like, even things you just don't know where they're gonna go.
There are like spots where you can increase your chances of survival. Nothing's like 100%.
Right. Like, I think it was you that I remember telling somebody that, like, on level 4 they just needed to stay by the hammer and the wild barrel would run off the screen.
If you're right here and he throws a wild barrel, it'll fly off the screen.
On level 4.
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah, right here. If you're standing right here and he throws a wild barrel, it'll fly off the screen.
All right, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like while you're waiting out.
Yeah, whenever I found that out by accident and like my head exploded.
No, like on level 4 when you still get those really really random wild barrels.
Yeah, because you're standing so far on the right side of the screen that it causes the angle of the wild barrel to be really sharp, and it becomes so sharp because you're so far over here that it flies off the screen.
All right,
does that make sense?
I'd have to see it.
Wow, that was tight.
Nice place, Wes. That's good.
But I'll have to remember that if I really start playing again.
Yeah.
I got to start just saving more money, getting a car, or not a car, an escape vehicle.
Yeah, we understand that.
I figure I'll need $2 to $3 grand for that to get anything good. Because I had one, I bought one, it was an 81 Mustang. It didn't look too bad from the outside. I had a lot of Fox body parts from the Fairmount that were interchangeable, mainly suspension parts. I was familiar with that type of car, Fox body Ford, late 70s, early 80s. The motor blows up, and I thought about doing an engine swap if I could find like a 302 or another 4-cylinder or something. I take the tire off, I look at the unibody or Fox body front frame rails, they're rotted through. Nothing, just take it away. Will not pass the inspection.
Yeah, I mean, you basically just dumped your money into a can there.
Yep, the guy's saying, yeah, it's not bad, drives good.
Hi, Andy.
No, really, that's what I told him. I really didn't want to make the guy feel bad by giving the car too much of a once-over. I didn't expect much anyway. I think 1,500.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that was 1,500 I based this one.
Yeah, you basically lit it on fire at that point.
Because when it came time to try to put it on the road and get set to drive it, I had it running for about not much more than 10 minutes. And as soon as the engine warmed up, bang! The motor wasn't original to the car. The car originally came with a 302, but I knew it had the 4-cylinder in it. It didn't matter. The 4-cylinder was it came out of a 76 Ford, because I could tell by the castings on the engine block. Okay, so it's a 76 Ford 4-cylinder.
Who's a Frankenstein, huh?
Oh, she's a Torty. That's Miss Abby.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a Torty.
You're a fan.
Damn it.
And then when I thought about putting another motor in it, I discovered the front frame rails were rotted out, almost rotted through, and that was it.
So you think it had been an accident when you tried to straighten it and then spot weld it or something?
No, it's just that
Salty and shitty.
it just rotted out. It was hidden between like the inner fender and part where the firewall goes, so it's not really something you're going to spot unless you go out of your way to look
Yeah,
for
and
it.
then that just rots from the inside out in a spot like that.
I was just, what else? What can go? I mean, what else can go wrong? Literally,
Locusts.
first, yeah, frogs and locusts. I've said that.
Just don't say that. He's like, I'm just
I-
waiting
I
for frogs and
yeah.
clouds to fall out of the sky. It's true though. So,
Yeah, no, sometimes it feels that way.
there is absolutely like universal randomness or whatever you want to call that. Some people get good universal randomness and some people don't.
I have had the worst in 5 years.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Abby.
Here. I mean, not
Oh! They do that. Most of the time, she'll sit in her basket. She'll be like a referee.
Oh, really? She just sits
Yeah.
there and watches.
I ought to get her a little referee shirt and a Twin Galaxy badge. She'd probably do a better job than Walter did watching that 879 game.
Which one was that one you never watched?
This one.
Yeah. I hope my silver Sharpie pen works.
Here, I gotta do this one thing.
I gotta go to the. Not only do I drink about a gallon or so of tea, seltzer water, or water every day, but I also pee a lot.
Alright, Ethan, check this out.
The three. It's one of the latter ones, the Three Blind Mice.
The Three
What
Stooges,
was that?
starring Walter, Billy, and
The
Steve.
Curly Shuffle.
The Curly Shuffle, yeah. When you inspired me up with the Curly Shuffle, I would just laugh.
That was done by Jump on the Saddle Band in like 83, 84. I used to have the 45 for that.
This is so great, Tim.
The Three Stooges, starring Walter, Billy, and Steve. Gets me every time.
I never get tired of watching them. I just never do. No matter how many times I see that, they're screwing up and botching things.
It's like the icon of American slapstick comedy. Like, here we are, 50, 60 years later, and they're still comedic and approachable. Like, yeah, that's good comedy. Like, you didn't have to pick on anybody but yourself, and it transcribes the ages.
Well, I often wondered what it is about three grown men with bad haircuts that just botch and screw things up. And Moe's abuse of Larry, Curly Chef, Joe, or Curly Joe. That just, I mean, what is it about it that I enjoy?
Like I said, it's like good, carefree
Well,
comedy.
it's meant
Yeah.
to be humor.
Yeah.
That old slapstick beat 'em up shit.
And my favorite ones were the ones that were always trying to find a job,
Oh shit.
or they're trying to do good and help, but they cause more problems than they solve.
Story of a lot of America. I could have been grinding, but it wasn't. Yeah, the Curly Shuffle. I'll pull that up. I'll give that a play.
It was by Jump on the Saddle Band. I had the 45 of that at one time. It was when the Stooges had kind of a resurgence in popularity in the 80s. Millstar had that Three Stooges arcade game. I
Yeah.
think there's one at the Stoogeum, which is in Amblin, Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia. I think it's Larry's hometown. I think it's run by the Fine family. Yeah, Amblin, Pennsylvania. They have a Stoogeum there.
I gotta check that out because I'm close to there.
I had been to TNT Amusements once, about 8
Jump in
years
the
ago.
Saddle. 1984, the Curly Shuffle.
If I knew the Stoogeum was in the vicinity, I'd have been there.
What is this?
It's the Curly Shuffle. Oh, okay.
This is how Tim started his stream.
Oh, wow, okay.
You turn it on, you leave the room, and play this song for like 5 minutes.
I had the 45 for it. Well, I was mainly
cool.
streaming it off the internet, but I had the 45. I used to have a bunch of records.
Just started getting back into it. I was helping my buddy move his parents' house, and they gave me a record store. You know, like, oh, we don't need this shit anymore. And I started buying records with all the shows that I missed this last year. Because all that's like it now. All the young bands are putting out records with them. So they were here.
Yeah, the Hollywood people, they get the good words. I think I said that in my screen I was landing. What do I get? Some Molar and Shem law firm. I remember some of the episodes where Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, attorneys at law.
Yeah, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
That's awesome. Yes, you do. And hard is the answer.
Another one is
How many viewers are there?
Yeah. Full dream. This is so good. You want to go out for another steak soon?
Yeah.
What's that?
I think him and I would probably go out and smoke another cigarette.
Oh,
so
okay.
I got your game going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hope you go all the way on this one, Les. I don't want to play. Yeah, we'll let him play.
Oh, I was going to say take over my second man.
We could each play a man.
Oh, shit.
How does he know?
How do I do that?
How's he so lucky?
Lucky, lucky, lucky. Don't die, don't die,
Yeah.
don't die.
How do I do it?
How?
Just the RNG is strong with you, Wes.
I just do that every time.
Even in the finals, Dean was just like, wow, this is just ridiculous. Like, yeah, Robbie's luck is. And like, I hate to say Wes is a lucky guy, but things seem to be going pretty well for him.
Another one, but that's when I thought I'd watch two of you guys play. Plus, it was just, I was just getting frustrated with the whole. Every time I play this thing, I cannot get Billy Mitchell out of my head. Nobody. I mean, come to think of it, nobody's ever beat me. I get. Oh, wait a minute. Here, you can put it here. Nobody said. Here, Billy. I got something for you to watch.
Holding your disputed tape real quick. And I want you to sign it too. I brought a silver Sharpie so you can sign on top of it. 1, 2, 3. That's so good too.
Well, let me scratch my head in bewilderment. Constantly disputed. Impossible to verify. I have no idea.
That's pretty nice. Hey, Mo.
Yeah.
Hey, Mo, check out this tape.
It'll still play. You'll find that even on a good VCR, it'll be scratchy in the beginning because you know how it is when you're.
Yeah, the tracking shit.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly restarting a game over, and you finish one, you rewind the VCR, and it
You
goes.
record over that same spot.
Yeah.
Each while the tapes, the tape stretches, so it's still viewable. But after about 5 minutes, it'll be good and clear.
Let me see.
It's like,
Huh? Is that? Oh, it's so good. These are great. What tape? What?
I like that one. What
Yeah.
tape? Constantly disputed and impossible to verify.
We should turn that into like a meme and just like caption it.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, I love it. Alright, I gotta see if my silver pen works, and I can have you sign that one first. Oh, it does.
You got a black pen, right?
I have blue, red, and silver.
Ah,
Tim,
that's
do you
right.
have any Sharpies or no?
No, but we can go down to AC Moore Crafts. Just
No, that's fine. I'll
Are you okay with blue or
No, that's
silver?
fine. I'll just all my other signatures.
I know, I feel bad.
No, it's fine.
It won't take long to go down there at all. I mean, 10 minutes. It's just right, literally the strip mall. down the
No,
street.
like that's fine. That's the only thing I really wanted signed.
I just want to test it on the sulfur to make sure it still works. Yeah, that works. Anywhere. It's silver, so it'll show. It should show up pretty well.
Actually, his signature will probably show up better than all mine.
Yeah.
Because
Shit.
actually, the Sharpie I used was dying on me, so like this one, like the signature is barely there.
That's like Billy signed your hot sauce, Wes, but it's tough to see.
Oh, right on. Okay.
It's like a ghost signature in the top corner or whatever.
Yeah, one of my coworkers wanted that, I think.
Disputed? I'm going to write disputed.
Awesome.
Maybe even a question
Yep,
mark.
yep.
5.
Impossible to verify.
Hey, Ethan, you need to digitize that tape as soon as you can, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So I need to what? Just then hook a VCR up to a computer?
Something, or if you have a capture card. Yeah.
Actually, you're in luck because I had a brand new capture device that I was going to use to capture footage from the Dragon's Lair disc. I am so glad those guys didn't pull those out because they didn't belong to me. They belonged to somebody else. It took me a while to find them because of the disarray.
Wow.
Brand new Dazzle, $40.
Fuck yeah.
Throw it in.
I'll take it.
I'll never use it.
Oh, I'll use it. Absolutely.
I think who the hell do those things belong to? Joe Maggiore. Those are who they belong to. For a while, I could not find them. There were 4 discs.
So good.
I was only able to save 2. And by the time they started screwing around here with the construction,
Oh, cool.
So what? They lost the other ones for you?
No, they misplaced the box. And for a while, I was going nuts. I was scared. I couldn't find the discs. And
Oh. Yeah, that's the worst.
I found them. I finally got them out. I was able to save 2 out of 4. One I think had pretty bad laser rot, and the other one had laser rot and began staticky, scratchy, and then after
What exactly causes that?
I think it's when the reflective coating in the disc breaks down, and sometimes it's visible where you can actually see where, like, you ever see a mirror?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
back
Oh,
of
the
the-
old ones. I have a
old
bunch of old
mirrors
ones at
where
the barbershop, and they kind of get fuzzed out from behind.
The coating on the disc is the same way. Sometimes they can be that extreme. Sometimes you'll just get like a cascade of red and blue sparkles, and the audio will be like crackly.
Which color is it, sir?
Disputed, impossible to verify.
Question mark.
Yeah.
Actually, let's try the blue. Let's see if that's. I think
Pretty
that,
close.
I think that'll work actually.
It'll be pretty close.
Yeah, you'd have to sign maybe like right here or something. Get away from the Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Unless we could do silver. I mean, silver is.
No, but a silver paint Sharpie, it take about 10 minutes to
No, this one's silver, but he
Yeah.
wanted black because all his other ones
Well,
are
yeah,
black.
but no, it's fun. The silver's good. Actually, they show up really well on the
They
marquees.
do show up really
So
You guys remember what my
you can
start
sign
was?
wherever you want, but
Oh, I think it was I don't know what the start
100 or
was.
sub-100?
It wasn't.
It was
it was
like,
like 100.
okay,
Well,
because I'm at 220, so.
You caught up quick is what you're saying. 60.5K level.
So yeah, you can put the 879.
Where, like maybe up here?
Yeah, wherever you want,
All right.
wherever you feel comfortable. Yeah, 879, and then
Ryan?
August of 2000, and then you can sign it.
Yeah, this doesn't show up very well. I
Is
don't
it
know.
not? Maybe it's just because it's dark in here.
No, I'm hooking it up to the back of the light.
Oh, you see, yeah, it's like the silver might be
Yeah,
fade. Although,
It's
from my
too
angle
light.
here, it looks good.
I mean, maybe without the light behind it. Without
I
the light,
think-
it shows up better.
Because it's gonna be in my machine with a light behind it. So
Well, I could just do it in black with everyone else. Or if you want it silver, I'll put it silver.
yeah, we could always sign it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you if he needs to, he can wipe the silver off and
Yeah.
sign it again next time with black. I think that's visible for sure.
Yeah.
Like that, it doesn't look the best, but like from my angle, all I see is like sheen, silver sheen.
Yeah.
Like it's
It shows up in a higher environment.
yeah.
Yeah, because eventually I do want to get all the record holders on there.
Well, I'll be probably the hardest one to get,
That's
so
why,
I don't
yeah,
really
that's-
travel.
We said
Yeah,
that.
that's why I figured it'd be better to get you first, and then.
I jokingly said that in the shout box. I was like, after tomorrow, I was like, this, we will have shipping hands with every Donkey Kong World Record holder
Yeah.
in 1 week.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yep.
Except for Mr. I couldn't make my flight.
My left's
Yeah.
not working.
Your left's not working?
Left isn't working.
What was it? 879.
Get in there, Ethan.
We're trying. Sorry, buddy.
8.
His left just stopped working, Tim.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, check it out.
See if this helps at all.
Yeah, just finish it.
79.
They're working on it. Was it 879?
200.
200, okay.
Nothing?
No.
And there's nowhere to hide.
And that was what, August 16th of 2000?
Any better now?
The date?
The micro
Yeah,
switch is loose.
yeah, got it.
The micro switch was loose.
All right.
I just need to tighten it. like the screws out, and you were pushing into air.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And I
that.
thought I did a better job putting it together.
It's okay.
Probably
We're back in.
the workout over the
Sorry,
weekend.
Wes doesn't need that, man.
He doesn't need that.
We got points for that.
Who we kidding? You guys don't need
It was a good death.
Yeah, you got
Yeah, I can make that out.
Timothy Sczerby, 879 200,
Yeah.
816 2000.
Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. Yeah,
But
I
what's really
appreciate
neat
that.
about it is, at first glance, you don't see it.
When I see it in the light, when the light's reflecting off of it, I can see it clearly.
No, it's almost like how Seth Gordon went about making his film. You know, you
Oh,
don't really see it there, but it's
Yeah.
there. You know? It's constantly disputed
When he
and
sits down in
impossible to
front
verify.
of the machine, and then he's like, oh, let me enter this into the database. And it's like, oh, what's this name right here in the database that we're rushing right over?
There's a reason why I left that score up on Twin Galaxy's board. Even though they got the date wrong, they have it like April 2001. Probably a pathetic attempt to cover their ass. But
Yeah.
And that one, however you want, whatever. But I figured that'll be the only signed copy of King of Con out there. Oh yeah, I didn't sign mine, but you can use any color. I think I might have them use blue.
you sure you don't want to get a paint Sharpie? Because that'll really hold up better.
It's okay.
AC Moore and Crafts, I'll buy it.
It's okay. Nah, I trust it. I like this, just like it is. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, it's kind of starting to
But you know, the imperfection kind of adds on to the.
yeah, and this one I'll have you sign with like a blue chip Sharpie, not that paint marker. So that one will come out just fine. And then same thing with all the other stuff, like the PCB and that. I'll have you sign all that because it's used to sign the wiring harness on the side of the monitor. On the bottom,
Sign it, original ROM.
Yeah, original ROMs.
Original ROM.
No, I
Underline
haven't.
that shit, Tim.
I haven't dumped those ROMs on that board since 2009, but they gotta be,
Well, if it ever happens, I'll certainly let you know how it checks out.
because I've got
that
tape
should've
over
been my
the
first
windows.
death.
Yeah, that was your first death.
That should have been, yeah. That was my fault.
Well, no, the first, I mean, you couldn't help the fact that thing.
Well, no, yeah.
That being said, I'm gonna make sure it's not the really one drop down on it.
Oh my god, that was so bad. I
Come
thought
on,
I was over
Wes.
the. Yeah, I know. I'm playing like shit.
Playing like
Why did you do this in the finals? Would have made my life so much easier.
Yeah.
you assholes. Perfect. Thanks, Tim.
All right.
And then this one, anyway.
Actually, I don't know if I told you this.
Because that's
why.
fine.
I was telling people, like, I don't want to wish anything bad against anyone I was playing against, but I was hoping everyone would bomb out so fast just because I didn't want to play anymore.
And I was telling everybody that
Yeah,
the only
hey,
thing
Tim.
he said to me.
Do you know this trick? You can climb broken ladders. See, that's
I think if you jerk the joystick
Yeah,
like
you
that.
know,
Yeah.
the thing of it is I don't really think it's practical. It's hard to climb.
But if the fireball's over here, and like if you need those few extra pixels to survive, like it's always
It
an
was
advantage.
kinda
Presses above,
Yeah.
right, Wes?
Yeah.
You just stab up, or it's
You hit.
It's one frame down.
Yeah,
and then two
one
up.
frame down, 2 frames up,
Yeah.
and you go up. Yeah.
It takes a little getting used to, but
Well, I made it all the way up the bottom broken ladder, not knowing how to do it. And I was just slamming the joystick up and down
Oh,
as hard as I could.
yeah.
And I ended up getting high enough above the second girder that I was in a safe spot where barrels were rolling under. And I just parked in there. And then it took about 10 barrels until Kung Fu a wild right into me. Fuck yeah. That's so awesome.
My personal, it's that particular score that's of so much interest because of the, you got a Hollywood film crew goes in there. We know what we're doing. Oh, this guy, screw that. We're putting this guy in.
History doesn't work how you want it to.
It
It works how we want it to.
Yep. And as long as we can write checks and hand out big piles of money,
Basically, yeah.
anybody want one?
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Yeah,
we're
we're about to go
talking
outside.
going
Oh, yeah.
outside on.
Yours fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright.
Nothing it is. Oh, goodness.
That's right.
Sorry, Wes.
Oh, you're fine. This game's basically over.
Alright, we'll watch you suffer.
Now it's kind of an odd playing position too. And even that thing is kind of loose where the joystick
Yeah.
is hung,
Thanks so
so
much,
that
Tim.
will probably
This is
throw
such
it.
a great time.
Yeah.
Dude, seriously, like, I'm really glad you're willing to let us on media.
Hey, yeah, man, this is fun.
It's just, But it's not really that late either.
No, it's only like 4
We got plenty of time.
Yeah, we have to go home around 7. It's a 5.5 hour drive home.
That's fair. And then yeah, for me it's like just under 4 hours. But I'm leaving early in the morning.
Yeah, I gotta drive another hour and a half after I get to lessons.
Yeah, he said 200. I owed my uncle 200. What? Yeah. Yeah. Whatever else. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I was going to say whatever else.
Hey Brian. Hey Ken.
I still have some of my old college
Me,
portfolio.
Ethan, and Wes are all kids.
I used to have a lot of
Wes
stuff
is
about
like
5 years ago that cost.
The big reason, the big reason I wanted to do something for me is because it's like that takes you to a time in your life that's different. You know what I mean? Like that's another thing that you're really good at. It's like,
Well, I reflected what was going on about 6 years ago at the time, in between things going on with her and that asshole, and just things coming apart. I just had flashbacks from like 1985. It was just a lot of thanks.
thank you.
If you still want that, well, you can take that 7820 if you want for display. No, I mean really. You know how much it costs to ship one of those? Not kidding.
$1,500 really.
Yeah.
Package it and everything.
Yeah, the player itself, it doesn't work, but it's kind of like if you're into that type of history, there's one for you.
Oh yeah, I'd love it. That'd be absolutely great.
I don't know if you'd be able to get anybody to fix it other than maybe myself, but I just don't really feel like playing or working on it.
Well, maybe in a year's time we'll have a motivation to do that.
You know, I've got some saved up for a car now. This is going to help. And I got to make sure I'm buying a rot box. It's not something where they pour 80 weight gear oil in the crankcase.
Yeah, it gets you down the road, and oh yeah.
And then when it thins out,
Yeah.
That's the word. I didn't even know that you could do that. I just learned about that recently.
Oh, sure, it'll
terribly running cars and just get really thick oil for a while, and it sounds smooth.
yeah, make them run smooth as silk for a few days.
Those are
Yeah.
the cars you see on the lot. 1,500,
Yeah.
1,200, $2,000. And, those are the guys out there.
Some people would even pour sawdust on the differentials.
Oh, the poster.
Straight off the poster,
Oh
man.
boy.
Yeah, this is like the grand finale.
Yeah, I will be more than happy to deface this.
You know where I got this? This makes it even better. I got that from Patrick Scott Patterson.
Oh,
When he was salty last year, he auctioned all of his posters off on eBay. And I was the only one that bid. I bid $10 and I got like 50 of his posters.
Yeah.
He was so salty. You can tell he did not want to pay me that. You can pick red, blue, or silver, but you know that the silver's not as bright as it should be.
No, I'm not sure how the red might show up either.
Oh, right over his face? Come on, it'll show up great.
Yeah, that'll actually.
Well, I was gonna cross out quarters and put bullshit.
Oh no, like no, do any artwork you want to do on that, definitely do it.
Here.
You got a green? I think the dollar signs I want to put on it.
You can draw like devil horns on CBV, whatever you want to do. Or, like, really, like,
I'm just gonna. How about this one? I'm just gonna put dollar sign.
Dollar in Billy's eyes?
Yeah, well, dollar signs. You really can't see that. Dollar signs. Because that's all these guys had in mind when they made this film. And then I'm going to put, what's he going to be saying? Cha.
cha-ching.
Cha, and then Steve goes, cha-ching.
What do you think, Abby? Does Dad know what he's talking about, or what?
Hi, Miss Abby. Hello. Hello.
And then,
I gotta give her credit, man. She's a good partner to have in crime.
Yeah.
She's a very sweet
She
cat.
was rubbing his wrist earlier.
Yeah, she was.
She must know you have wrist issues, Wes.
a fistful of...
The dollar signs in the eyes are so good.
Fistful of bullshit.
Be careful.
You know, I never really had a lot in life. never really did a lot in life that would really amount to a lot, but yeah, you know, it's not enough. Billy has a hot sauce business handed to him. This guy's had every advantage handed to
And
him.
they paint him as the family man of the century. Yeah, step on them. You're a girl.
Daddy wants to autograph. Probably dip her paw in some white paint. I got white paint.
Abby Rapp.
No, Abby wasn't even around here. No, she was born in March of 2002. She's 14.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
You're looking good for 14.
Yeah.
Well, that gives me hope for my cat. She's only like 8 right now. I take him to the vet and they're like, oh, we have to tell you that your cat's technically considered an adult now, like a senior citizen. And I'm like, don't fucking tell me that.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you kind of is.
Never disputed it right here.
Yeah. You can burn a hole in it if you want with your cigarette. I don't give a shit. Because
Always
honestly,
verified.
the way this is, like, when Tim's done with it, that's way more meaningful and valuable to me than just a random poster from this event.
Yeah, sure.
Never disputed. Always verified. You know, I am so surprised that these people were able to get away with that. I mean, considering all the evidence was there, I mean, it's incredible. And I've called the movie studio on air before.
Yeah, we were there.
And
We should call him right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the number anymore. But
Oh.
the first time I did it, the audio was out, and then when I discovered it, I had to redo it again, and it was the same lady. You
She's
called
like, sir,
before.
I just told you
Yeah.
this. You're like, I know, tell me again what you told me. The audience didn't hear it, and then she hung up on you.
Fistful of quarters. I'm trying to think of what color to use where bullshit would turn out better. Blue isn't bad.
Fistful of bullshit. Oh, no, that's great. What I'll do is I'll get this framed, and then I'll hit it with a ton of front light, so that you'll be able to see all the things reflecting really hard. Hi, Abby. Hey, Abby girl.
And then I'm going to write my name here. Or I'll do it in between them.
The original King of Kong.
Or the King of Kong. I'll write my name under it.
Constantly disputed Sczerby.
No, it's never been a dispute. I mean, Billy Mitchell himself called and congratulated me like a couple months later. Not kidding.
He talked to me about it. He often says, he's like, yeah, you know, I even called the guy, and then
Yeah, too bad I didn't get any money, did I?
No, fuck
No, it's because I was talking with Dwayne, because Dwayne was researching this back in 2008. And I told him, well, yeah, everything I said is true. And not only is it true, I also have a copy of the original videotape I sent these people.
Yeah.
And he was really interested in that.
And you sell them that, and their eyes just glaze over, and they're like, "Oh, you're just a whiny
Well,
jerk."
We couldn't track that guy down.
no, we
Yeah.
couldn't track him down. Here, let me help you look. You know, but they're documentarians, so. You know.
Yeah. Sure, they're fucking documentarians, right?
I mean, I could see. I thought the Nibbler doc was really good. The
Yeah.
cartoon intermissions, I like.
Yeah, that's pretty
They
cool.
help. I mean, stuff like that. That's what helps move a story along. It's not when, okay, let's see, we're going to alter this, even though this guy did this first, and we're going to lie and say his score didn't count, and then we're going to say it's a documentary.
Yeah.
And
My
they'll
God.
just paint anyone with a sense of logic as a loony, so that they can't question anything you say.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that seems to be the politically correct thing to do these days.
You're a xenophobe.
Yeah,
You're
yes.
a racist.
I mean, you don't agree with somebody?
He's a racist.
Yep, you're racist, anti-Semitic, xenophobe. I mean, if you disagree with somebody that's outside of a different clique, or religion or race, I mean, we could disagree that the sun isn't shining right now. You could say it isn't. I could say it is, or the sky isn't blue. Well, that's really more of a periwinkle. So how do we know it's really blue? I mean, cast any doubt. Well, yeah, it's
is it even there?
Yeah.
Is it even really there?
If it's not taxable, how can we know it's there?
Yeah.
Well, if you're one of these scum-sucking lawyers, I mean, they can send a ham sandwich to the electric chair. I mean, they really can. I'm not kidding. I've seen it before with me. I cannot believe they can be just so ignorant with a black robe and a gavel and all these academia achievement awards behind them. It just boggles the mind.
So true though, and the world's
Yeah.
full of people like that. And without sounding too cynical, they all just end up blowing each other up at the top. And I don't mean literally blowing each other, but I mean, you know, everybody just ends up feeding each other's ego.
Hey, Tim, did you see that article about somebody in the UN driving a tractor through the other person's office?
No, but after what I've seen working for the state and knowing how they set people up and conduct witch hunts, I can believe it.
Yeah, they wrote it up as workplace conflict.
Workplace violence, yeah.
Oh yeah, just recently I saw. Yeah, a guy drove his truck into his office into another person.
Well, let's see. If I was somebody like Stu Vernoy and set somebody up at work to cover up my own dope dealing out of a state group home, abusive clients, covering it up, and somebody got really pissed at him for doing it, because I almost decked this guy in a Walmart 2 years ago. The only reason why he didn't. Yes. Yeah, anybody looking to score some dope, I mean, check this guy out.
Hey, Tim, you know, I'm kind of surprised you don't, like, call him and set him up.
Nah, I mean, that really isn't my style. The only reason why we didn't tussle in that department store that day was because I was on probation at the time.
Sure, okay.
Really, because all right, Robbie's right there, because he got about that far from me going, yeah, fucking yeah. I mean, he was, and
So he was like a typical.
I mean, he could tell. I mean, I was hot.
Business
I mean,
snob.
my
Like, go
eyes.
ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, I was about ready to just.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But there were security cameras around.
Yeah.
And that's the best he could do, is just get there and tease me like that, and then walk away with his finger.
People like that just get off on that.
And well, then I sent his father an email saying, "Yeah, this is what a cowardly piece of trash your son is. He's basically a 55-year-old man child. Here's what he did to my mother, and he caught a break that day. He will not catch one again." All right. So yeah, I mean, really, what's it called? I mean, I'd give people the number. Yeah, I mean, really, it's I call it for 13 years. This work day. 689-9879. Yeah, ask for Stu, or he might be one of those other state group home run shitholes that they cover up. Basically, frickin' Nazi stalags. I worked in one before. I tried to do something about it. The HR office comes after you.
Yeah,
They're not the people that are really causing the problem. They come after you for pointing it out.
Right, you're compromising their job.
Yeah, you're there. Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm this perfect employee either. I mean, I make those episodic gaffes every once in a while.
Oh, shit.
But when it turns into a Clockwork Orange environment, and they go out of your way to set you up and just keep cutting, I mean, it would be like me throwing pot in your car and saying, "Whoa, see," or heroin. See, look what I caught him with. I mean, that is the level of screw job these people will do. And the HR office will support it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You gonna do it, Rob?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll
Ouch.
try it.
Ouch.
Ow. So awesome. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome, man.
Look at this.
Cha-ching.
Never disputed, always verified.
you wanna hit the I'll show
Oh, there
you.
it is. Yeah.
Fistful of bullshit. That's so good, Tim.
No, it just boggles the mind how
It's
a movie
kinda-
producer can
Kind
get
of
caught
different
like
to
that.
play on.
And then
Oh,
no one-
Tim,
yeah,
is this
no one
your?
fucking
Is this how
lights
you
up their
flip
ass.
the switch really quick?
Yeah, the service switch. It's no, that's the on-off right there.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
So you
yeah.
do that to reset.
Yep, just like this. Although you're not really supposed to just here. Hold on, Robbie.
Yeah. Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say, Tim,
it's-
you know about maybe a month or two ago at this point, somebody found there's a reset pin on the two-board stack. It's a pin that just says reset, and if you have it grounded, you can just
Reset it from
instantly. And
It's-
Tanner's using it. He said it's a software reset that's faster than it's so quick. It's instant. Right
Tanner
now.
was doing
I
that.
had thought about modifying my board like that because I discovered it too. You just kind of put a switch in between that and ground.
Wait, move that space ace thing. It's right there. Just lay it back on top of the other two.
But I didn't want to catch any flack. Oh, see, he's using a modified board, and so I'd always just kept using the
I'm like
switch.
you. I try my best. Because even I think Robbie was at Tanner's, and he was like, no, I'll just use the.
No, I got
manual
to the
reset that
point
I'm
where I
used
just
to.
started unplugging my fucking machine, and I'd plug it back in as soon as I died.
Yeah, unplug the
Yeah.
switch.
People
I'll do it
told
on
me
a
it would
regular
hurt
board,
it, but I mean, I must have done it like thousands of times.
It's well, the voltage drop and load is, it's not.
I
really good for
wait
it,
5
but
seconds. I figured it would be
That's-
worse on the monitor than anything else.
Yes,
because
it
of
will
the
be worse
caps.
on the monitor.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like cycling it. Because I just figure anything that's 30 years old, when you surge power through it like that, it's just not good for it.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's
I
not.
try
Well,
not
that
to.
monitor should. That's a pretty good monitor. It's got a new aftermarket flyback on it.
Yeah.
You can see how I have the controls set up. It's a lot like the Electrohome G07. I screwed some extra holes in the chassis and screwed the brightness and screen grid voltage to that. And it's a new aftermarket flyback. Every time I think of those fat freaking state, I mean, Syracuse the Office of People with Developmental Disability. You'll notice a lot of Three Stooges comparisons. And I'm not really kidding. I'm thinking a lot of the staff is a lot like the Three Stooges. And once you get up to the HR office, that's when you get into like your Emperor Palpatine. And,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
that fucking rotten,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
inside and out. They're just soulless.
Oh, that's funny. Emperor Palpatine.
I work for that organization. Yes.
Let the hate flow
Oh,
through.
I'm afraid the CSCA union will not be able to help you once we get done conducting our witch hunt. I'm thinking of Return of the Jedi. Oh, I'm afraid the Death Star will be fully operational. I mean, it's that level. That level. I am not kidding.
They're just all buried up each other's ass
Uh-huh.
all the way to the top. I knew a guy that worked at UPS his whole life, and he told me that when he finally retired. He's like, I just couldn't stand licking balls every day. He's like, the only way you progressed in that organization was just get down on your knees and lick balls. He's like,
Well,
I'm done.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that's what you like to do, I mean,
Yeah.
the OPWDD, Central New York DSO, and Syracuse Developmental Center are a great place to be. You like beating up on retarded, developmentally disabled people, treating them like shit. Well, hey, that's a place
That's
to
the
work.
place to go.
Yep. And if you suck up enough ass at the HR office in grade 17s, I mean, really, you can get away with it. Stu Vernoy can tell you all about that. Yep. Because I'm going to tell you, the only reason why nothing happened and there were no police dispatched to that store that day was because I was on probation. And I told his father in an email what this cocksucker did. I know he got it. And I see him again. He caught a break that day. He ain't catching another one.
Right.
Yeah, I'll go to jail for it. Yeah, under the circumstances, some things are worth going for. But the thing of it is his father's a cardiologist. He's got some
big
like,
money and
yeah,
stuff.
he's got like some Joran Vandersloot complex going. So, I mean, for me, yeah, it doesn't matter. Take his money and stick it in his ass.
There's the world's full of people like that, dude. It really is. It's always funny how they get there, because it's like everybody, when you don't have money, you're like, oh, I'd never be that way. And then all of a sudden, everybody's got money and they're pricks.
I would.
Yeah.
If anything, I like I don't know, like what happened with Rudy Show. Like with you, with the retro uprising and that. It's like I like to be charitable too, but I like to give it directly to people because I do not trust the state.
Yeah.
I do not trust these organizations. I just don't. I've seen it. And it's like very funny. It's like, yo, here's how we're screwing you.
Yeah.
For every dollar you give us, they get a penny. You don't like it?
Yeah.
I was
Here's
at
our
a
legal
gas
department.
station yesterday, and they were selling car care products, and with a pink table, and the guy had cancer ribbons out, and this and that, and like, I only had like 15 ones on me, and I was putting it all in my tank, and like on the walk in the door, the guy like said something, and I was like, I literally only have 15 bucks, and it's going, it's all gas money. And like I went in and I asked the guy at the register, I'm like, what's that about out there? And he was like, I was like, are they taking donations? He's like, no, they're just selling stuff. And I was like, oh, because if they were taking donations, I would just put 14 in and give them $1. He's like, no, I don't feel bad. He's like, he told me for every $20 they get, $1 goes to the charity.
Yeah, I have to be really
For every
careful.
20 they get, $1 goes to the charity.
I could probably get sued, but like Susan G. Komen's really bad.
Oh yeah.
Susan G. The pink ribbons you see all over the place for breast cancer. They're notoriously bad because they'll actually sue other charities that use that pink ribbon because it's their branding.
The AHA is really, the American Heart Association is really bad too. It's something
Blue
like
Cross
85%
Blue
of
Shield has
the
gotten into some hot water lately. Yeah, you have to be careful.
That's why I say it. I would rather take money I was going to do, because like before I caught Rudy's distress call, I was thinking, well, there's Chapel House down the street. They could always use it, or the SPCA, which I donate to anyway.
Yeah.
Dogs and cats, and I happened to catch it there, and I was thinking of the time I was having 5 years. So I said, here.
Yeah.
Because Phil said, well, Wes says you should donate it to charity.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But for a while, I was thinking, well, let's see. If I donate it there, the people that need it are going to see 1 cent and $1. So that's pretty much. Well, they'll be driving around in Cadillac Escalades, you know, the big fat limos. Oh, we got a lot of overhead. I mean, that type of crap.
That's so true, man.
So that's why I do not trust state government. Very few charities. I would rather personally give money to people and those in need rather
Like
than.
go buy food and hand it
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah. Yep.
I've always been good. But even on a personal level like that, when they'd be asking for money, I would give them food because I knew that the money was just going to go for like meth or something like that. So I'd offer them a burger or a cheese steak.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Never good.
I knew a girl when I was down in West Philly that she used to stand out with her cat draped over her shoulders. Like the front legs were here, the back legs were here, and you know she just would like panhandle on the street with the cat draped around her like a scarf. And one day I was on the way home from the grocery store and I had like the cat food that I pointed out to you in the garage. I had like
Fancy
2 or 3.
feast.
Yeah, I had like 2 or 3 boxes of that in my car, and I got to the intersection where she was. And so I went to the grocery store and drove through McDonald's and like had some chicken nuggets that I wasn't even gonna eat. And when I pulled up, I gave her like the 10-piece nuggets, and I gave her 2 cans of wet food for the cat.
Yeah.
And she was not happy.
Oh.
Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, I knew you want money so you could go home and spend it on drugs. So here, at least your cat, unless you throw this cat food over the bridge, I know your cat's going to eat that.
Well, it's even Abby will eat fancy foods. Mainly she likes the hard cat food. But she kind of looks like, what the hell's going on here?
Some cats are like that. My dad's cat.
She sits in her basket. No, she'll sit in her basket. That's kind of odd for her to sit there.
No, she came up and started like licking my hand while I was playing and stuff. She's very sweet.
Yeah.
She's getting older too. There's other cat. Maybe because the company scares them away. There's usually food, but I think he went outside.
My cat was that way for years.
So Lucky, Sylvia was here, the tuxedo, black and white tuxedo. Teddy, Adeline is like a gray tabby cat.
Yeah.
Molly stays upstairs. She never comes down. That's because their owners were like, well, we're moving and, you know, we don't want the cat anymore after 14 years. Here, you take her.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
So I have 2
pets.
cats. One of them I adopted from a shelter, but my other cat, at my old apartment in Arkansas, because that's where I'm from Arkansas, she lived like in a storm drain at the apartment complex. And, you know, we've been seeing this cat like for half a year, and we finally just brought her in.
My cat was a storm drain cat. When I got him, his name was Stormy. We
Yeah.
found him in a storm drain.
So we took both the cats with us to Massachusetts. I mean, they're part of the family, so I can't ever see myself doing like that. You know,
They like it upstairs. Well, mainly they like it upstairs if it wasn't
Ripped apart.
No, it's put niches. It was apart for 5-6 months.
And you were up there before they started, right? So basically, get your ass out of here, and now we're gonna not do anything for 6-7 years.
That little mud room in there is where I kind of pulled out a cop.
In the meantime, that's lovely.
So what exactly are the contractors doing?
Well, let's see. When they're not misplacing,
When they're not,
disappearing
They're not,
stuff and
fucking
breaking
with
it
your
up.
shit.
They put insulation and new sheetrock upstairs. 'Cause
They're
it's
not
so
reselling
old.
rotors and
Yeah, and I am so glad they didn't toss it. I would rather have the brake rotors and all that other stuff turn up missing than those 4 laser discs because they were not mine. And it took me 7 months to get them back. Well, it took me about 5 months to find them because I'm thinking they're gone.
Yeah.
and then these guys.
There were 4 Dragon's Lair discs. Only 2 of them were any good. The other one of them I couldn't get working at all. The other one I think had some laser rot in the beginning. Had to because it was stabbed. The other two came out good, but still, I mean, I don't know, $100 a pop. On average,
it's like an image, and one little bit of the image is fucked
Plus,
up.
you've never seen a laser disc.
No, I've never seen one.
Here.
Okay.
It's the. Well, Ethan will probably appreciate this.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow! It's like as big as a vinyl.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
clean it
huge.
off. It's got some smudges on it, but it's the operating instructions disc for that particular model player right
Oh
there.
no shit. Yeah, giant CDs.
And,
CDs exist.
Actually, there's Care Bears the movie. Now you've seen Dragon's Lair, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is the video format that it originally came out with. And that player right there was the original device used to play it back.
So you could, in theory, use any player to play the disc as long as you have the inputs.
Yeah, before a lot of these guys could really disassemble the code and understood what they were doing. The only players you could play the game on were the 7820, and those were hard to find, or the LUV 1000. Particularly Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. I'm not one of the original Daphne developers. His name is Robbie, and he had developed a conversion board he was actually the first to do it. A conversion board that allowed communication between the original Dragon's Lair board and a newer Sony disc board. The following year, the high-tech mechanical board came out. Now, this may look like crud. Oh my god, I don't know about that. It's got a light in front of it now. Holy cow. Let's see if we can clean this up. Ooh. Now that's been there a while. Now that's what you call laser rot.
And CDs are getting into it. See where like bacteria
no.
goes through the disc.
Yep.
It's an actual type of bacteria that eats.
The metallic layer.
Yeah. Like that's if you would smear a petri dish, that's how stuff goes in a petri dish.
Oh boy, I didn't notice it. You still want to take it as yours, but the last I knew it worked. That was another part of it. I used to have these things all over the place.
Every time you found one, you just grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The vendors were more than happy to get rid of them. And a lot of them I was able to just use for parts. Some of them I was able to get working again. But yeah, the vendors were more than happy to get rid of those old laser disc parts.
Robbie's playing right now. Wes played the first game, Robbie's playing. I don't think I have any desire to play.
I had no desire to play.
Well,
I got sucked in.
It's a once in a lifetime chance.
Whenever I see a control panel, like I feel this compulsion come over me. I gotta play.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I've been playing it the last few years.
Yeah.
So all of your grind for the last few years was sitting on a blanket.
Well, not quite. Sometimes if I had a desk, like I used to have another one upstairs, but I put it up there and I'd have a smaller stool, not quite like that, and play.
Oh,
a lot of times I just set it up like that.
Wow. It's in good shape.
Yeah, God, I haven't moved that player in a while. Wow.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. Maybe something leaked when they were doing work and it got wet.
I don't know. This has been like this for 17 months. I mean, what the hell kind of contractor takes all their money up front and then doesn't finish anything?
Yeah, it sounds like a rip.
I mean,
Yeah.
and it's not like one or two times. I mean, it's been like this for 17
I just realized,
months.
yeah, I got yours.
Oh,
I think, unless that's Robbie's, but it's definitely
No, I
had a little black line.
Abby, you're Abby. Oh, not out from under there. It's dirty under there. And I don't know why she's not sitting in her basket, because that's where she usually sits.
Girl. You good
She's
girl.
very sweet.
Probably
Yeah.
sucking the heat off the speakers there.
When I used to have a fish tank, not that one upstairs, I had my own, she would lay on the ballast when the fluorescent light came on. It's like probably like a heating pad.
Yeah. My parents had a cat that had anemia its whole life, and we didn't know it until after it died, and that they did a dissection or whatever. And she lived in front of the freezer, and they had a 2-door refrigerator, and the condenser was on the bottom of the freezer, and it was always blowing out hot air, and like all day she just laid in front of that all the time. We're like, cats just like heat. It was like, well, no, I guess when they're anemic, they're cold all the time. So it was like she was just always laying in front of that little heater. Summer, winter, it was still blowing out hot.
Well, she's not used to really any more than myself. There's a few of the other cats being around too.
You sleepy girl, huh? Good girl. Like they say, they sleep.
Around this guy. Come on here with us.
They sleep so many hours out of the day. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, she sleeps 10 hours just to muster up enough energy to sleep another 8.
They do. They sleep 8. You know that, right? 18 hours a day.
Yeah, she's taking a break from a hard day of taking breaks.
Who's a good girl? What do you think, Rob?
About what?
Could you fall in love with a setup like that?
I like it.
It's convenient.
Yeah, it's definitely convenient.
Once you definitely set the control panel up on a more solid base, it's it's pretty much the equivalent of
the visual is actually really cool.
Yeah, like I could see setting that in the middle of my coffee table in my family room and having like a little box for this thing, and then just like on the couch, pulling the control panel onto my lap and having that thing in front. Like it would be a great way to play from the couch. And not have to play MAME.
And if I was playing like this all the time, man, I'd be in the zone. Like, it's a good way to just zone out and play.
I feel like the monitor is so big, just because I'm so close to it.
Yeah.
No, and there's nothing around it to distract you, so.
There's no tinted plexi. There's no monitor bezel. It doesn't sit like 2 feet deep in the cabinet. It's mounted almost vertically rather than kind of tilted
where you
pitched
it, like 45-degree angle. That's true. Cheater.
Man, what was that? That was awful.
I was trying to get a feel for it.
What? Just try to.
Yeah, the fireball was under him, and the ladder came back down, and he cheated up like 3 steps, and the fireball climbed, and it was just enough that his cheat steps saved him from getting seared.
Yeah, it's always worth it to do it, just in case.
You know what I mean? Like he was stuck at the middle, and he like went up 2 or 3 past it, and then the fireball started climbing, and it was just in time for him to not die.
I can't tell you how many times I've escaped death just by doing that.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Or you save 100 points sometimes.
One time I was playing D2K, and I went to that right ladder, and I just kept climbing. Sometimes you like slip off, and like the ladder started retracting, and I climbed up through space all the way to the top of the screen and completed the board. There's a highlight of it on my channel. It was on D2K.
Kind of a bug. I only played that a couple of times, which is
not a big fan.
I liked it.
Yeah.
The only thing that threw me is when you jump a barrel, the 100-point sprite would kind of float out and disappear.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Like Super Mario Brothers or something. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
It's kind of ironic that he put the time in to change those sprites like that. Like, there was all, you know what I mean? Like, all the time and work. Like, when you recode sprites, that's a lot of work.
But he didn't get the jumping 3 barrels at once equaling 800 points rather than the 500 that's already your score.
Right. And he designed a millionth points digit that would never.
Yeah, you can't even.
Yeah, it's impossible.
It's not possible.
The level 14 springs are so fast that you die. I think it's 4.
I think it's 14.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, you'd have to be playing at 2 million pace to get to 1 million on level 14.
Yeah.
I think Ben Falls put up the record for that.
Like 400K, and then someone else beat it.
I think John McCurdy has it now?
John McCurdy.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think John.
One of the guys that ran through this game real quick. He was here when you started streaming, actually. But yeah, he went from 0 to 1.1 plus real quick, and then he beat the record on Big Kong, and then he beat the record on a couple of hacks.
Yeah, I can't remember which ones. I'm not sure. Phil has most of those.
You know, I had a bunch of games. I had to replace the hard. It might sound like an excuse, but I had to replace the hard drive in that a few weeks ago.
Oh, this laptop or your
my computer, because I had it sitting up there. I inadvertently knocked it over and it hit the ground. And when you have those things spinning at like 7,000 RPMs,
laptops are designed. They have G sensors in them, and when they feel that they're falling, they spin down really quick to prevent that. You know what I mean? Like there's a sensor in there, and when it feels that it's free falling, it shuts the hard drive off really quick so that it won't be bang, and then the needle scratches it or something like that.
I know that's what happened with that, because when I tried to boot it up again, it wouldn't boot up, and if you really listened, you could kind of hear that.
Yeah.
That happened to my last laptop
Wow.
before I bought my most recent one. I went to turn it on one day, and you would hear it try and spin the hard drive, and like you said, you hear it just like clunk, clunk, clunk.
I had a Dragon's Lair max out on every difficulty setting on Revision F2 ROMs, and I hit the hard difficulty setting with 5 guys with a random wildcard boards. I had a 490K on that.
Which is
Yeah,
basically near max out.
About 5.8.
Yeah,
About
that's
5.8.
yeah,
it's
you're
it's
like
close, but you
15,
have to
16K
really be
for
lucky.
max,
The
and
558, not possible. 427 and some change is max out on easy level. I should know these by heart. I think it was 450 something, 455 on the intermediate settings without wildcard boards. And then once you get the wildcard boards in there, you never have the same score twice. Never. Yeah, come on, Abby, be sociable. She's not really that sociable. Okay?
No.
And she's saying, "Geez, you haven't had more than 3 people down here in about 8 years."
Girl,
No, that's what she's got to be saying that.
happy? You smell hot? Can you smell what are your cat's names, Wes?
Allie and Kitty.
Aw, Allie and Kitty. Yeah, I'm glad that I got a rescue cat, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? It's like, you can buy a new pet
Or a
anytime.
fancy breed to be
Yeah.
trendy. All the cats we ever got were just, they needed a home, so.
I like doing that too.
Oh.
That's what my
And
grandparents
honestly,
do.
you end up getting a lot more love from a cat that needs it than, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Like you buy a semi-used cat, and they genuinely are grateful when you take care of them. You don't know how bad their life's been before that, so it's good to like fix them.
And I've had Abby since she was about 6 weeks.
Sweet princess.
She hadn't been born in March. I got her sometime in May of 2002.
Oh, so yeah, wow, she was really young. I was like Huck when I got him, he was basically a kid. Thank God.
And she likes to lick, too.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Abby.
Hey, Abby girl, you keep your tail up, huh?
Miss Abigail.
You're pretty. Yes, you are. Come on.
And then there's like the many adventures of Cheddar Cheese Cat and other cat groups.
Uh-oh.
I like to hear some inspirational stories about cats, but then you hear some negative ones involving cats, and it just kind of bums me
I'll scratch it.
out. Oh, hold on. I think she must have bumped the thing again.
Oh, that.
There, yeah, the score
good.
wasn't quite showing.
That's
There
good.
we
DQ. The score wasn't showing for 10th of a second. Unverified.
Restart.
Now we can verify that.
You like that, huh?
It's
Oh
just
my.
camera angle error.
You like that, don't you?
Well, that's how I lost that one event we were playing in. Tesla mixed up the playing rules, and it was just some minor tech. And the Adamant offered
Yeah.
the first place money.
Yeah.
I just never got back to him. It just.
That's the guy I was
Man,
telling you
why
Yeah.
couldn't you have done that during our bracket game?
No, I want you to keep it. But originally, that was when I was like, so who would appreciate this picture? Yeah, I was gonna mail that to Adam. But I'll just send him a picture of you holding that picture. That's just as good.
If he'd appreciate it that much, he could have
Sure.
it. In fact, I think
You know what I'll do? If you let me take it, I'll get a couple copies of that picture made, and then I'll put it back in that frame, and I can send him a copy and send you the picture back in the frame.
All right, yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, because that is yours, and that dude.
I didn't even
That's
know
one of the
this.
better pictures. I mean, I haven't seen all your photos, but if that was a picture of me
That's one that we know of.
in my 20s,
Yeah.
I would want that for.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
It's almost ironic that we found, like, dude, you just bent over and be like, oh, here's a picture of me, and it's that one. I'm like, what the fuck?
What are the odds?
Well, you see how it's been here the last 17 months with the upstairs not habitable, the garage filled up with crap, stuff getting broken, turning up missing. It's just taxing, and then plus the last 5 years, it's just been very, very taxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine dealing like every day, just waking up with the grind, like a rain cloud, just fucking laying down on you every day. At least you got little girls.
Yeah,
like
you
this
got
around,
Abby.
You can feel better.
No.
Oh.
It's funny how that works, though, man. Pets, dude, pets
Oh,
can
she's
give
a
you
sweetheart.
a level of like interaction that you'll never get from a human.
She's 14. We had one cat that was 20, and I don't know. I think about it every day. not much more than 6 years. Be lucky. She doesn't really like to go out much. She
So
will.
often I think about that with Huck. Like I've had 9 great years with him, and I know he's still, young. But yeah, it's like you think about them not being there. And it's like Christ. It just makes me take more care of him now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't feel bad giving him a treat or spending 20 minutes rubbing him or brushing him or whatever.
Yeah. My cats are only 3,
Oh.
so they've got a while.
It's all on me the one time, like a customer or something said it to me in the shop, and it was like, we live 5 times as long as them.
Yeah.
So their life should be 5 times as good as ours in the time that they have, within reason. And I was like, I never really thought about that, but it's like their day is a week for us. You know what I mean? So it's like take care of them in a day, and then if you use that daily, then it's like you end up taking care of them for their whole life.
She already went out this morning. She'll go. I open the window every morning. I broke it the other day because I have it latched up on there. I put a screen in there now so they don't get out at night. But that latch, it slipped out of my hand. The window came down too much.
You can tell how much they use it because of all the hair on the corner of it.
Huh.
Oh yeah, they're in and out all day.
Yeah, that's great.
It's just I'm surprised we haven't seen them lately.
You don't ever have any bullshit because of that, or you shut it at night.
I always shut it.
Because I think you come in here one of these days and find a raccoon.
No, it's always shut at night. I know we've had skunks out in the garage before, so I can smell them. Sometimes we'll put cat food. There's a dish out there now. Some of the neighborhood cats will come by and eat it.
Oh yeah, there's some dry food sitting out there when we pulled up, I noticed.
The cats here eat it, and then some of the neighbors' cats will come from across the street and eat it. Sometimes they sit in the yard.
So what do you think, Rob?
It's great.
Is it?
Yeah, it's everything I hoped it would be.
I'll be honest, man. My drive-through is really pretty. Like Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
Northern
dude, it's
PA was
beautiful.
and then I hit 41A or something like that. I took
Yeah.
80 to
You're on
287.
Bennington, 41A up to here.
Oh god, that was gorgeous. I was like right at the top of this big rolling hillside. Everything to my right was down as far as I could see, and then a lake showed up, and there was like a big lake on my right. And then I went away from that for 5 miles, and there was another big lake on my left the whole way up here.
41A, or Lake Como's off of that. It's not really a Finger Lakes. It's just I wonder if it's even man-made, Lake Como.
They looked really beautiful. I was like, man, this is God's country.
Yeah,
Full
you were probably
farms.
seeing Skinny Atlas Lake. See, if you were taking 41A, you could have stopped off at Atwood Road and went up to the trailer there. This one asshole and just say, hey, can I get?
Stu, is he up
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Oh,
We were wondering where that was.
Stu.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's-
next time we can just come here with eggs, and we can take a trip up there, and the 4 of us can just egg the shit out of Stu's
I'd
house.
rather go get some baseball bats.
Just beat the mailbox, beat the car,
Yeah.
beat the siding, ring the bell, and then beat the first person that answers the door.
Have a blanket party for him.
What is that, socks and soap or whatever they used to use back in the day?
Bring like a burlap sack.
They would all put their bar of soap in their socks and beat the shit out of the guy in the service.
Oh, that was in Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, they would hold him down. They'd like rope him down on the bed and beat the shit out of him.
Hey,
Because
hey, Abby.
he wasn't really keeping up with the rest of the cadets. The drill sergeant would take it out on everybody and not him, and the cadets were like, ugh.
We're gonna take it out.
Yeah,
on
we're
you
going to
now.
take it out on. I mean, some people aren't. Well, back then it was like you're drafted. I don't know.
From what I always heard, it was like the second you got on that bus, they treated you like they owned you.
Yeah.
Because they do. When you join the military, you do not belong to you anymore. You belong to them.
Yep.
There's actually a lot of professions in this country that are like that. Like my one buddy, he does fireworks for a living, and because he has to have an ATF license or whatever, he's like, I do not have the rights of a standard U.S. citizen. He's like, when I got my ATF certification, you surrender your rights as a U.S. citizen, and they can come into your house anytime they want without a warrant. They can knock on your door at 2 in the morning and go through your shit, and you can't fight it. And I was like, I didn't realize. He's like, no, you literally sign away your American rights when you want to be ATF certified.
But wait a minute. I thought we had the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And
Sure.
I know.
Been bought and sold 100 times
Yeah.
already. Come on.
Oh, I know that. It's that stuff they teach in. Well, I like Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah.
I don't. You ever
Oh,
remember those?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I still watch them to this day. I used to have a videotape of those too, with just Schoolhouse Rock intermissions I taped from Saturday, and they're they're still quite good for learning tools for kids. Those kind of catchy tunes like
Yeah, I used to watch them.
Junction, what's your function?
Yeah,
We had
yeah.
one constitutional one up a couple months ago.
I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill.
Yeah. I'm just a
Yeah, I mean, that one, when you think about it now, is just total bullshit. It's the way they present it in Schoolhouse Rock as to how it effectively applies in real life. That's just... there was one I saw, Illuminati Rock, that I thought was more appropriate. Well, it pretty much teaches you your right to vote doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Whoever they
The
want to win will
software
win.
updates have already been distributed to the voting machines.
Yeah. I'll never vote again. I would Obama was the last time I voted, and you would have thought, you guys had to remember the campaign. You would have thought that, like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know what religion you're in, Jesus, Allah, Buddha fell from the sky.
Yeah, oh
You
yeah.
know, it was like,
Bread.
everything is fixed.
Oh, they make sliced bread now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, meanwhile, the country's going to hell. The economy hasn't gotten any better. It's all rigged
Food
numbers.
stamps are up 60% since he's been elected.
Well, you don't see any bloodlines, do you? Like in the Depression? Well, no, because they're all on swipe cards now. Why would you?
Yeah.
And people do need them.
EBT,
I-
baby.
mhm.
Yep. EBT.
You see it all the time. They got carts full of lobster and shrimp and
Really?
No, maybe in some cases, but I know some people that have that.
And they need
They're
it.
frugal.
yeah.
They're
People like that too.
they're just like, for one guy I knew, it cost literally this 1 month. It cost more to run that refrigerator and electricity than the food he had in it.
Really?
It's
Not kidding.
close to like 50%. Like half the people that are on the system are using it, and half of them are abusing it.
Yeah.
There's some people that have legitimate reasons for using it, and I can see that, but there are some people that abuse the hell out of it.
Oh, totally. I used to work for Schwann's, like the home food delivery.
Oh, yeah, man.
And people would use their EBT cards, and I mean, obviously, if we were hitting our numbers, it didn't fucking matter. But like, I'd see someone spending $200 on like 12 items, and it's like, you know, you could go to a better, cheaper place to feed your whole family, but you're buying this, you know, bulk. Well, it's like not even bulky, but it's like fancier food, or like more expensive. Hey.
Just sitting down.
And that's what she'll do to me.
Yeah.
See, what she needs is I wish I had time to prepare like a little referee uniform.
That's so
Yeah.
classic. You
Yeah.
could probably go to Foot Locker and buy a little ref shirt and make her one. Oh wait, I remember reading this just recently. One of the baby sizes fits cats perfectly. It's like 2 to 4 months or something. I saw a post on Facebook and it was like a cat in a shirt. And she's like, I just discovered that 3 weeks to 6 months fits cats perfectly, and they're like $5 clothes. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Maybe you can find her a little
A
baby
ref
ref shirt.
Well,
$8.
sure as hell would have beat the ref that viewed my Twin Galaxies submissions.
How about it, huh?
Oh my goodness.
There, now she's being sociable.
She loves all this
And here
attention.
comes Jasmine.
Oh.
Kitty in the window. Hey, kitty.
He's not used to the company. He's never seen more than one,
You look scared.
3 people down here at a time. He never has. And usually it's myself, a couple other people, a couple other friends. That's it.
That's so awesome. I love that look. Look at the look
He's
like
curious.
that.
That one's Jasmine.
Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Jasmine.
I mean, there's just cats all over. I don't know. I've always liked cats since I was younger.
I like them too. I grew up in a house with cats and no dogs, and I was always like, why are my parents cat people?
Dogs
I
are
want a
okay.
dog. And then I got older and I realized I didn't want a dog.
Having a dog's like having a kid.
I don't have the time.
Yeah, it's like a kid. It's
I
like
do
a
not have
baby.
the time to walk it every day.
I'd love
Yeah.
to have a dog.
Cats are low maintenance.
I don't think I'd be able to do trips like this if I had a dog. Is like what I'm
So
saying.
you're smart enough to know better.
Yeah.
That's what happened with me. It's like people are like, oh, you. Do you guys notice most people either like cats or hate them?
Yeah.
There's no middle of the road. They're like, oh, fuck cats, they're creepy. That's like all you ever hear. They're like, oh, I don't. It's either I like cats or I hate them. They're weird. There's no middle of the road. And it's like I'm the middle of the road with dogs. I don't like them. I don't hate them. I just know it's too much work, and I don't want to neglect the fucking pig. So I'd rather get a self-sufficient cat that can shit on its own. And,
Yeah, Robbie hit it. Low maintenance.
Low maintenance.
Plus, like that dog.
Yeah, you'd have to take them to classes and stuff, so they don't do stuff like that. Like it's a lot of work.
And people pay hundreds to. I'm a barber too. Like cut hair for a living. That's what I do. And I could make triple what I make if I would just do dogs. Because people pay like $100, $150 to get their dog trimmed.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I could do 2 of them in an hour.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that makes me run from a dog. Like, oh, God, I'm going to have to pay that much just to get his hair trimmed. You know?
Wow. Well, she takes that dog to the dog groomers. It's like, my haircut costs like 3 times less than that. You know, I just... but that dog will snip and bite at people. And
I mean, they're just like people, though. I mean, some of them are brought up to behave.
Well, that dog came from a crummy environment.
Yeah,
it's
I kind of
usually
understand why it's so
yeah.
sour.
It reflects on its past ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you get 3 what?
What's that?
328?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but one of his was due to a technicality with the joystick, though.
Oh, yeah. That's
You
right.
triggered down on me, yeah. It's just it's different because I usually sit on a bar stool, so my hands kind of go down.
Yeah, your wrist angle's different.
Yeah, so it's a totally different wrist angle. So that's probably partially due to the wrist angle.
Well, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't be verifiable anyway.
Yeah, it'd
No.
be constantly disputed.
This house is...
Yeah.
No, even though there's video for people watching it. I mean, we can have it broadcast on
world record
CNN.
holder is sitting here
Yeah.
watching her play. Definitely not be verifiable.
Well, the key is when Seth Gordon comes by with his movie money and hands everybody checks. You know,
Yeah.
then it becomes unverifiable.
3 record holders in the room, totally unverifiable.
What do you think, Mr. Seth Gordon, movie director? Yep. Oh, wait a minute. Here. Get this you know, I don't think I would have sold out like that. If I was somebody like Billy, I would have said, well, look, here's the history of it. Here are the people directly
Either
involved.
include them or don't.
Yeah, either include them or without me, you got no picture. How's that? Because I have a hot sauce business and restaurant to run. I don't really need your money. But, you know, Billy wouldn't do that.
That was the honorable thing to do.
I would have done that.
Well, there definitely was an era where he was their golden child, and anything, like you said, anything to promote his prowess over anyone else was promoting the TG image.
Well, I'm not saying he wasn't a bad player at the games he played, but I mean, like Don Hayes and Dwayne Richards would wipe, John McAllister, Steve Wagner, I mean, those guys are wiping arcade with that guy.
Yeah.
Wagner's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Wagner's
really
great.
good,
I was lucky enough, I got 2 machines from him. I got his Missile Command, and I got his Donkey Kong that was used in the Con Off 1.
There were only a handful of games I could be world record material at. Right now, I don't think Donkey Kong isn't one of them now. Maybe top 10.
Yeah, you could get top 10.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, you could.
But yeah, Space Ace.
Those are more memorization games. Dragon's Lair, if you play it on the very hard setting, I know I have people perplexed in that. A few months ago, we were getting in like an online debate, and I'm just telling, look, 558, but playing this thing for over 30 years. For 20 years, I knew 558 was correct. Nobody knows. Well, I don't know. There's Dave Halleck from Dragon's Lair Project.
Huh. Yeah, that's saying something. The only person in the world that's got more knowledge than you is him. Yeah.
No. Dave Halleck knows. He knows that 558 is crap. I don't know. I haven't done any of that in years. But not only can he play the coding of the ROMs, I mean, he's good. He'd have to know that as well as I do, the way they play and whatnot. But I don't think a lot of the other collectors do. Like some collectors will think that a dedicated Space Ace was strictly that inverted style, but they came in both style cabinets. The earlier ones did come in a Dragon's Lair style cabinet. I had one. It was LDS, the S signaling Space Ace, and it was a low. It was like 00072, but it was the Dragon's Lair style cabinet. Greg Skakundiak has that one. Plus, I had an inverted
He
style.
has the original DK still too, right?
Yeah, he's got my original Donkey Kong. Serial number 45676. The Dragon's Lair was 3182.
Wow, those are really low numbers.
Dragon's Lair, there was anywhere between 8,000 and 10,000 units made. Nobody really knows for sure.
So you're in the first half.
Dedicated Space Aces were somewhere 1,500 to 2,000, with about the first 600 being in the Dragon's Lair style cabinet. So, from a production standpoint, from what I've been able to tell, just by looking at serial numbers, from a production standpoint, this dedicated space ace in a Dragon's Lair style cabinet is more rare than the actual inverted one that people think is strictly dedicated only. I've had them both. There's no difference in gameplay. Cinematronics must have really wanted that bankruptcy to go through back then, because they essentially took the existing cab that was already there and redesigned it. You've had to have seen, like,
trying to waste money.
Yeah, they retooling to make a totally different cabinet. The artwork, like for the marquee and the side decal, is the same thing. It's the same. The layout is different because on the inverted, that's why it's called inverted, because normally
it would be that way, and on
it would
the
be
inside.
that way. It would slip toward you. But on this particular cabinet, it was that way and it slipped away from you, therefore it inverted. But
I see.
the artwork was the same, just different colors. Really, the same, different colors. And the side decal is a little bit smaller than on the other cabinet, but it's literally the same thing, different colors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just out the
yep.
blue.
We got to get that bankruptcy through, so we got this space ace going. Let's totally redo the cabinet. Totally, I mean, really, no other reason, because the other cabinet's there. But we'll just totally redo the cabinet. We'll piss away a lot of money gearing up for new jigs and screen printing the same artwork in different colors, and we'll even make a new enunciator board, because the enunciator board for that one had lamps, rather lamps on the scoreboard plexi rather than on those like Atari lighted cone ones.
And it's like, there's no way that a cab redesign would make it that much more
No, it was same exact game.
profitable. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we need this so people will walk up. No, you don't spend that kind of money to make people walk up to the machine.
If anything, I thought the inverted dedicated space ace, the control panel, was too narrow to play.
Oh, that makes sense.
it's like-
Instead of being outside, it's
Like that one there was originally a Dragon's Lair control panel. I found it in that arcade graveyard. If you kind of want to, I don't know, it might be neat to get pictures. I mean, it's a lot of tall grass. It's hard to see things now. But
There's cabs and shit in there.
no, the cabs are like wood pulp by now. A lot of that stuff has been there for over 25 years. Some of the wiring harness I got for that setup came from that.
Graveyard?
Mhm.
Really?
The monitor I got helping to clean that warehouse out back in 2007. Mainly the picture tube, the chassis I picked that up off of eBay years ago. It was untested. It didn't matter. I figured cap kit and deflection transistors, flyback, and the usual stuff, and bring it back up again, and it did. But that monitor came from the old stop vending warehouse. It even says stop vending scribed into the back. You kind of have to see it in the right light.
That's awesome. God, so much history just in the chassis.
But if you go there now, there's some boards laying around. There's a Mat Mania plexi. There was like a half a Dragon's Lair plexi. Only the decal was gone. I could just tell because it was one of those angled marquee plexis.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing else like those.
Yeah, broken in half. I know what that came from.
I don't think we have any graveyards like that down in Allentown.
Well, this is just like right out in the woods off the College Trail. It's just, you can just walk right up there. You don't even have, it's not even in a dump. It's like, that guy violated so many EPA laws by dumping those pictures. I am not kidding. There are dozens of broken picture tubes leaching shit into the ground back there.
Yeah. Those have lead in them.
Mhm.
Like, that's really bad for the environment.
Yeah. I mean, these old lead too bad for that too. I mean, I'm not saying yours are old, but I mean the old versions of those are just loaded with it. When they break, mercury goes everywhere.
They got a little bit of mercury in them to help the ignition process, to help them light.
Oh.
I bought an old Coca-Cola sign a couple months ago, and it had Gillette light bulbs in it. Gillette. Like, the same logo that's on the shavers nowadays. There's 3 4-foot bulbs in it, and I took all 3 of them out to save because they're not working anymore. And my buddy was over and fucking broke one in the basement. I was just like, dude. I was like, that thing's so old. I was like, I'm going to go upstairs until you clean up all the parts. Because, you know, it's just like, oh, we're going to be swimming in fucking mercury down here for a couple of weeks.
That guy was, I remember trying to help him out, trying to clean that warehouse. The one guy I was working with, he knew I knew what I was doing, and I knew those old videos. But Dave Stott was always kind of a prick to me. I don't know why. And I have these, there were a couple of black and white XY monitors that I thought he would want to resell that are not tested. They were complete, just full of dust. A couple of those type of monitors, Sanyos. The Electrohome Geo7s and Wells Gardners I considered pretty much worthless because just specialty stuff that I knew that at a secondary market, between all that stuff, there had to have been between $500, maybe $600 if you wanted to auction it all off. I get there the next morning ready to help, and the guy's like, "No, you can get out of here. He caused me a lot of trouble." And his monkeys that he's got working for him, dumped all that stuff in the dumpster and broke it. And I'm like, "What the hell?" He threatened to call the cops on me. And I'm thinking, I wanted to say, "You think anybody here knows this stuff you got in your warehouse better than I do?" But I didn't want to piss him off anymore.
Yeah, sometimes dealing with illogical people is just not even worth your time.
The pinballs, I wouldn't know. The other guy that, didn't mind me helping, he knew the pinballs.
That convention, that Replay Effects convention that we were just at, they had something like 600 pins in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was unreal. Like, just the electrical draw to run all those pins, all those machines, and then they had like maybe 1,000 consoles too. Literally just rows of CRTs with 10 PlayStations, 10 Sega Genesis. There was the first night Dean and I sat down and we were playing on Odyssey 2.
Oh, I love that.
We were playing the racing game.
Oh, Speedway it was called.
Yeah, we were playing. All I gotta do is move left,
all
right,
you gotta do
left,
is move left, right.
left,
And if you get
right.
the rhythm, you can just sit there.
That's awesome.
No, Robbie, I crashed like 5 times and then figured it out. And
Yeah.
then Dean played, or no, Dean started and crashed like 3 times and then went through it flawless. And he's like, "All right, what's the world record? Go right now." Like, he had me pull it
Probably
up.
tied it.
Yeah, he had me pull it up on Twitter. He's like, "Tomorrow we're gonna come here and we're gonna sit down until we both tie this." It's too easy of a game for us to not tie the record. I came up like
Pickaxe
60
Pete, I thought
points
was
short.
good.
Was it?
Pickaxe Pete.
Oh, that was one of the
That
games
was an
on
Odyssey
the,
game.
the Odyssey.
I thought it was pretty good. You were this kind of like little stick figure miner with a pick, kind of like how Mario is or Jumpman is in Donkey Kong. And you had these boulders that would pop in and out of these mine shafts that were kind of like wild. It had a lot of elements of Donkey Kong to it. You had to collect keys in order to. You had to collect the right color key and then jump into the mine shaft, which was like a colored square, in order to progress to the next level. It was a fun game for the time. If I could get the emulator right, I wouldn't mind playing it.
It basically looked like a typewriter. I don't know if you've seen that.
I
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
I've never played it, but I've
Well,
seen
it
it.
cost a lot, man. Like,
Really?
if you want to actually own one, an Odyssey?
Yeah.
That was the first home game
I
console.
didn't know that. So they were highly collectible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how many did they have?
Only 1 or 2.
Only one.
Well, now I know why.
Yeah.
We just looked at it like, look at this wonky asshole.
That was the first home game
I had
console.
it back because my dad worked at Sylvania at the time.
Yeah.
Before, I think I had gotten it in 1981, and because he worked there, he got like a deal at Magnavox.
Yeah, Magnavox.
Because all my first TVs were Magnavox. My mom swore behind the Philips Magnavox back in the day.
Oh yeah, I had those.
Come on,
And
Robbie,
85,
step it up. This
everything.
isn't Million Hundred.
I know it's not.
Get with the program.
I just don't want to make the game longer.
Well, if you play at a high pace and die, then that makes the game less fun.
That's true.
It
That's
just
true.
makes it more frustrating.
Yeah.
That's my strategy. I don't want to play 3-hour games, so I just go all out and reset every fucking 30 minutes.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Come on, Robbie, get with the pro. What the hell is this? Come
That's the
on.
story of my gaming career. Go too big, restart all the time.
The way those records are now, it's a lot of them are going to be beat.
Yeah.
I mean, with this one between you and Robbie, you may as well just sit there and toss a coin on. It's how close it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 12K.
1.2 mil. Wow. I didn't think much more than 1.1 mil would ever be done.
Now we got 2 guys ahead of Dean, and Dean's still grinding it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Going. He will. He'll get it.
I
I
think
just don't
he-
have the
yeah,
passion for
he'll
it
get it.
anymore. I don't.
No, the higher and higher you score, the less
You-
and less passion you
Yeah,
have.
the more miserable you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of time you got to put in until you can get your
Yeah,
next
my
breakthrough.
new motto in life, before I do anything, I'm asking myself, will this bring me happiness? And so, will playing Donkey Kong bring me happiness? No.
No.
So
Well, I
don't
used to
really-
get a kick out of it
Yeah.
back in the '80s, and
Yeah,
well,
when it,
before that,
when
King
there's
Kong screw job came about.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I just now it doesn't bring me happiness. It just
Yeah.
irritates
Yeah, so
me.
what gave you your original motivation to play?
I first played
Because it was
this.
before all the bullshit from the movie and all that.
I first played this game at the Timeout Amusement Center in Finger Lakes Mall in late 1981. It was probably around some time the holiday shopping season, '81.
So it was a brand new game, basically.
And I remember one of the first things I tried doing was going up that first broken ladder. And not being able to get up. No, I really remember that.
What the fuck?
I thought I first played it at Servo's newsstand back in '81, but I remember that day in Servo's newsstand. It's just down off State. Well, it hasn't been at Servo's newsstand in years, but it was summertime, and Donkey Kong didn't come out till the summer of '81. For me to see one that early would have been no. The first time I did play it was at the Timeout Family Amusement Center, late '81.
We had a timeout in me. There was like the standard arcade in the mall. It was like a chain
The
mall.
Timeout tunnel.
Wow.
Yeah, you went through that.
I've seen those.
rounded
I've
entrance
seen
to get in,
those,
and it
yeah.
had the lights inside of it.
Yeah, it had those kind of those walls that would stick out from the wall with the curvature.
Exactly.
Yeah, they called it the Timeout tunnel.
I've seen
Hmm.
those.
We had one. We had that one when I was a kid.
And they had two Donkey Kongs there at the time. One was red, one was blue. I didn't really think it mattered at the time. I didn't. Well, at that time, I really didn't get into it. One was more rare than the other. I just knew one was red, one was blue. And I do remember that they would always jack the difficulty up on those games at Timeout. The Dragon's Lair was very hard settings when I was learning how to play it. They had one at Timeout, and they had one at Wegmans up the street at the time. This was back in early part of '84.
That's before Wegmans was a chain.
They've had a Wegmans here for well over 35 years.
And it really just took off in the last 15 years. It went all over the Northeast. My parents didn't get a Wegmans until like I went to college, and it was like the best thing. You know, when it showed up, it was 100% better than any other grocery store they had in the area.
No, that's a good store. They used to put video games in there until around the late '80s.
Really?
That was the Dragon's Lair they had there in '84. I couldn't figure out why it would take me every bit of 5 guys at Timeout to get through it, and then the one at Wegmans was on 3 guys, and I could do it on like 1 or 2 guys. And then difficulty settings. All right, so that's why some scenes seem like they have a little bit more anime. Like some scenes will have Dirk kind of like standing there, and you can kind of get your bearings in those first 2 seconds before the action happens. And then when you play it on the very hard settings, it's like you have to know it's coming up because that's the way it starts.
So how could they make it harder by reducing the frames of wiggle room or something on you?
A couple of scenes were like that, where you would start a scene and it would have kind of like Dirk standing there looking around, and then within a second or 2, the action would start. On the very hard settings, it was like when it came up, where the action took place, that's where it started.
So you had to instantly be ready to be frame perfect.
You had to be familiar with how the scenes were structured and what possibles 1 out of 3 scenes were coming up next.
And then be able to read the visual cue the second it showed up to know when to push. Yeah, that's crazy. And then one missed input.
Yep, you lose a life.
Yeah.
I used to love watching it. That particular Dragon's Lair marquee there, the machine that came off of, it had the TV on top. They had that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of arcades did that, and that particular one did. And they took it was an old like color TV, well, like the one you saw the contractors that busted in the garage there. They took the knobs off of it, so that way people couldn't get up there and fuss with the stations. I remember that.
Huh.
And then in late October of '85, they had converted it over to Russian Attack, and they cut the marquee area flat from the sign, because they used to do that. Sometimes they'd peel the original overlay off and leave the 3-sided header. Other times they'd cut it flat.
Yeah, they really used to just bastardize machines back in the day, because it was just Time it does
I was
its
sad
own
to
thing.
see it go, and it was like an easy high score of the week for me. I mean, every week since the beginning of '84 up till toward the end of '85. Plus, I get it on this. Sometimes on Galaga, I could turn $1 million on that. Because after $1 million, you stop getting extra guys,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit harder.
Don't you call them threes like that? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's right around $1 million or 900K or something.
Super Pac-Man rolls over at 10 million and it stopped giving me lives.
You must have been using the life counter to keep track of your score or something.
It was just all in my head, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd racked up like 40 guys at one point, but I only got 104, I think, total or something like that.
So you just had to know when you were, and then you walked off, or you played that one out.
I played it out because I figured since I started losing lives because I was getting tired, it wasn't going to be much longer. So I rolled it over at about 12 hours. I went another 3 hours after that. But I actually didn't know that I ran out of lives. I would run out of lives. So I actually didn't really try that hard in a way. Because I was like, oh, I got all these men.
Yeah.
You can take a break without dying. So I just didn't really think about it.
Come on, man. You need to up the pace.
How
Let's
old
go.
is Tim? Tim is 44 years old. 44. No, 44. Yeah, pushing 44 and a half. I don't even want to get any. It's just.
No, so you were young when you started playing this game. Late teens or early 20s?
No, I was about 9 when I first played this game.
Oh, really?
9 pushing 10.
Oh, wow.
And then my grandmother lived at the apartment building, so Auburn Heights.
Yeah.
She moved over there late '81 or early '82, around the same time. And in the spring of '82, there was a men's clothing store at Strip Mall that's still there, and they had a Donkey Kong and a Battle Zone back to back in the front of the store. And I remember going down there and playing.
Just sitting out and playing those. Yeah, I remember that too. Go shopping, Mom. Drop me off here.
Well, that's the way it was when we went to the grocery stores.
What was your start?
Like 115 maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that good, but
Arcade games were everywhere at that point.
Yeah.
You couldn't go into a convenience store or like a restaurant.
even like a 7-Eleven.
So they were, 7-Eleven, they just everywhere.
Well,
You
the home
didn't-
console market was so limited back then. It was like,
Yeah.
You had to go out to play good games.
If you wanted like the arcade version and that feel, you had to go to the arcade. The home ports were okay. ColecoVision was pretty good. The Atari 2600 had some really good games, but its version of this was just like
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them were crappy. Yeah, they never
Someone's
improved.
got the record on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone
It's
does.
about 300K or something.
Someone put the fucking time into that one.
I don't know if I could stand listening to it for any length of time. You know, that seems to be like a standard, movie sound effect when they want to illustrate when a video game is being played, the Atari 2600 Donkey Kong. It's like, you really, how do you define a video game sound these days when they're just basically like motion pictures?
Yeah. Or just guns going
Yeah,
off.
there really aren't game sounds anymore. It's all just photorealism and
It's just all about the
big
graphics.
inventory and customizable clothing, and downloadable content.
Microtransactions.
Yeah. Yeah, like I realized that with all these like operating system based games, like the phone games, like the Androids
Yeah.
games and the iOS games. It's like these guys have to design the games now to have stuff that's locked. And you can either unlock it by buying things.
Yeah.
Like I was playing a free disc golf game, but it still had to use the unlock structure.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to charge anybody anything, so it was like he just has like all these things where you have to watch an advertisement video. It's
Yeah.
like, the guy doesn't even make money on it, but it's like the marketplace is designed that you have to have that shit in your game now.
Wherever there, it's just everything's just make money, make money, make
Yep.
money.
If there's a chance to get
Well-
click pay or anything, they're gonna go for it.
It's, I don't know. I'm at a loss for the technology in the last 20, 30, particularly last 20. I remember when Maine came out, if I first saw that, I was like so happy.
Yeah.
And then when the Daphne developers came out with Daphne, I think Rob DiNapoli was the first one.
Sliced bread for you, probably.
hmm I was thinking, oh, it's so great because now I don't have to play on these old damn Laserdisc players anymore.
You know, to get it running for a week. It's like a vector monitor. You get it working for a week, and then don't fucking turn it off. Because as soon as you turn it off, it's gonna be screwed up.
You get a problem.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
buddy had a Tempest, and he was like, I would get it
Oh,
running
God,
and
those
then
are
just
just-
not unplug it until the monitor was
Yeah,
fucked
I
up.
would never want a Tempest.
He's like, you'd spend weeks troubleshooting the vector, and then it would work, and then it would die.
Yeah.
What I did with my Major Havoc is they had a replacement for the low voltage section called the LV1000, and it was something that was engineered and designed to fit right on the chassis, and it replaced your components in the low voltage section that seemed to go bad. I mean, I've seen them where they would just desolder themselves right from the board.
Shit.
Really, the board would have like a big black spot on it, and you could tell where it got so hot that the solder had melted
It
on
just
some of the
squirts
components.
itself right off.
Yeah.
This was back almost 20. When did I get that Major Havoc? It was in '98. I think it was in late '98 I got it, and that was one of the first things I did. No, I never had a problem with that monitor after a while. I went through it with the Xanon kit, all the deflection and chassis deflection points, just everything.
So much work. But it was an image that was unrivaled by a normal monitor. Vector is a really neat concept.
Starcade, yep, I used to watch that. I remember they had has anybody played Donkey Kong according to Starcade rules? Like you get 50 seconds to get the highest. I've tried that, and you don't want to point press.
Right, yeah, you'd go through as fast as you could.
You want to. You got 50. The top hammer, yes, but by the time you get to the rivet board, you're gonna have like I forget how many
Like
seconds
10
left.
seconds.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
10 seconds. So you want to just go get the
Immediately go to the
prizes.
top, I guess.
Oh, maybe the 300 points for the. For the
Yeah, if
purse.
I had
Get on
10,
and leech
10
it out.
seconds on a rivet board, I'd just go all the way to the top left and just start leeching him as long as I
Yeah,
could.
you can grab the purse or whatever else
Yeah,
up there on the top of the umbrella. I don't fucking know what's right
Yeah.
on the right.
Umbrella, hat, purse.
Alright, now I know. Umbrella top left, hat.
But I
Oh,
tried
my.
playing it with Starcade rules. I did beat that one guy that qualified on that one episode. The Dragon's Lair one was basically if you were lucky enough to get certain scenes in a certain order. If you got the barrel water ride as part of your game, you couldn't get a high enough score because it took a while to kind of go dink through the screen.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it was like random, and if it gave you that screen randomly, there was no chance.
Yeah.
That's like when you're trying to. Some guys like they try and get the speedrun record to get to the end of level 4 for this game, and it's like just as fast as you can to finish level 4, like get a start. And it's like a little over 7 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
But like it's at a point where if you start an elevator and the fireball is not going down,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You jump
Yeah,
on the first
that's
platform and you ride up.
That's
And
it.
if he's up there when you get there, you can't beat the record. Like you need that favorability to be going down for you when you get there.
Randomness.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like seeing like what you're talking about. It gets to a point where if you get that fucking river ride, you're done.
I've tried it before. I've even tried sacking the man on the river ride just to get him to come back to life.
Oh, to get out of this game faster.
And it just doesn't work. Well, it I think it would depend on what score they had.